Hello guys, Fuzz here, and welcome back once again to our Final Fantasy IX complete walkthrough series here on YouTube. And we are playing, of course, the remastered version of Final Fantasy IX, which was recently released on Steam. For the first time ever, Final Fantasy IX is on PC, which is great. So hopefully now Square will finish the job and give us Final Fantasy XII, since I believe it's the only one that's now lacking, at least in terms of the PlayStation Plus era. So once again, if you enjoy these episodes, don't forget to support me by hitting the like button. That really keeps me motivated, makes me realise that, yeah, people are enjoying this, it is worth doing them, and I will of course be happy to continue to do so. So we left off last time, having just spoken to Stiltskin here, and we purchased the stuff that he had available to us, which was very nice of him. And I do like the way the Moogles look in this remastered release of Final Fantasy IX. They're very, you know, obviously much higher res models, but still true to the original PlayStation versions of those models. So we're going to begin by just going through some of these ATEs and also doing a mini game, which we'll head towards after we finish this first ATE, and we'll just continue to select these ATEs as we make our way through. So to do this minigame, we need to head back up to the entrance of the town where we first begin in Final Fantasy IX, if you remember, with Vivi. So it's a good idea not to speak to anyone, not to do anything, because this is the only chance we have to do the minigame that I want us to do. And once we've done it, that's it. Or rather, I should say that once we miss it, that's it. So if we go ahead with the story, then we'll never get the opportunity to do the minigame or get the item for completing it. So of course we just continue to get a little bit of backstory, but we've still got the ATEs available, so we'll go ahead and select the next one. Who are these little chefs? I don't think I've seen those before, have I? Dishmeister. And the ATEs are still available. Usually they disappear, don't they, once you've watched one until you move around a bit. What a funny looking Moogle. Seems that matey son Moogle fella is doing the Mognet side quest as well, doesn't he? Right, so we're just going to head all the way back to this street here, and we can see these kind of hippo creatures, which I think are called hippos, but I could be mistaken on that. Anyway, they're going to be the ones that we engage the mini-game with, and the way this is going to work is we're going to race this little kid here up this street, and every time we beat him he gets better, he gets stronger, he levels up if you like. And every time he levels up, or rather every time he earns 10 levels, I think he earns 5 at a time when you beat him, you get a reward. And when he reaches level 80, you get the Athlete Queen, which is a key item that can only be gained during this side quest, and can only be gained at this specific stage of the game while we are in control of Vivi here. As soon as we move the story on, we've lost this minigame forever, along with the key item at the end for completing it. So it's a little bit annoying. It starts off deceptively easy. We'll go ahead and make a start here. But as it goes on, it does get tricky. So just bear that in mind. It's a bit frustrating, but I do recommend, especially if you're going for a full completion of the game, to work towards that Athlete Queen item. So all we have to do is X and B alternately. And you can start now, there's no false starts. So you don't have to wait until his grandmother or mother or whoever that lady is says you can start. And as you can see, that wasn't too challenging at all. So we'll wait for little fella to catch up. And then Hippo Lady will praise us. And we just need to do this over and over now. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you watch all these races. But we'll just do a couple in so you get the idea. Spam those buttons. You might find it easier to find the respective buttons on your computer's keyboard and mash those instead if your joypad or Xbox controller, whatever it is you're using, is a little bit more cumbersome. Which can be the case in all honesty. So we get the first item, which is a wired card for reaching level 10. And in fact, all of these are going to be cards, except the key item at the end. So when he gets to level 20, we'll get the Carry On Worm card. At level 30, I'm going to start this and I'll go through the rewards with you. At level 30, the Tantarian card. At 40, the Armstrong card. At level 50, the Ribbon card. At 60, the Nova Dragon card. And at 70, the Genji card. And then, of course, at level 80, we get the final reward. And it's all sorted. So he should now be level 15. So I'll show you one more and then I'll skip a few. And get ready to start mashing buttons. He is ever so slowly getting a little bit quicker. So look, he hasn't quite managed to leave the screen this time, so he's doing better. So now we get our second reward, and things are going to start getting tricky, so wish me luck as we continue on with the minigame, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Right, so I've managed to, with lots of finger aching, get Hippo here up to level 75, so just 5 more levels needed. I did forget to mention that if Hippo comes second less than 1 second after you win, if that makes sense. So if he finishes the race 1 second or less after you do, he only actually gains 1 level. And if it's more than that, then he'll level to the next multiple of 5. So he won't gain 5 levels, but say you're on level 62 and you beat him by more than 1 second, then he'll go to 65. And, you know, obviously you want to be able to do that so you haven't got to be spamming your fingers for so long by leveling him quicker. So we're going to go ahead and try and get him these last 5 levels here. So I've kind of got the controller against my chest, like a musical instrument. And I'm going to start spamming this X and B buttons as fast as I can. See if we can get it. I don't know if we did it. No, which means it's only level 76. So we need to... Okay, so now we've actually gone to level 79. So as long as we win this race, then I am done with this side quest. And hopefully you guys will be too if you're following along. So on our marks, time to start spamming. Go! Come on, Vivi. He starts off slow all the time, does this Hippo guy, but don't be deceived, he speeds up. I think we've done it. There we go, we've got the Athlete Queen. And an achievement for doing that as well. Very, very good. Whew. Right, oh, one thing that's just come to my mind as well. When we was at Stiltskin, hopefully you've been doing the Kupo Nut Delivery quest as I've been doing it. because even though we've got a nut, I didn't hand it in purposefully to the Moogle next to Stiltskin for various reasons, because we want to maximise our rewards from that minigame or that side quest of handing in nuts. So don't hand the nut in just yet. Anyway, we're going to go and get a couple more cards now. So we're going to head back to where the Moogles are as Vivi. Oh, no, not that way. Trust me, Vivi, I know the way. And we're going to head on up here and ring the bell. And we get the Shiva card and the Ramu card. So we've got some nice cards collected over these, well, over the minigame that we've just done, and by ringing that bell there. And now we need to go to the area where Blank and what have you are. But we'll just get an introduction to our Artemision, or whatever his name is. To begin. So now we're going to go and head over to Marcus and Blank and see what they're up to. Make sure you only choose this option once you've done everything that you want to do with Vivi. Remember, you cannot do that racing minigame once the story's been advanced, so make sure you've got that done at least. Uncle Sinner now, are we? Is it Sinner, Chinner, Kinner? I don't know how to pronounce that fella's name. Ah, now we're going to scene with Dagger. We haven't been seeing much of Steiner lately, have we? Especially towards the end of Disc 2. Earlier, we didn't see him at all really, did we? So nice to see him making his way back into the story. Right, so we get 3 items here, the Opal, the Topaz and the Amethyst. And these are good items because they'll basically teach Dagger 3 new summons, which are Shiva, Ifrit and Atomos. And now we switch over to Ico, who we're actually going to be controlling for a little bit now. Oh, so this is presumably Dr. Tot speaking to us at the time where he found Dagger and her mother, her real mother. Right, so now we have control of Vivi once, Vivi even, Ico once again. Just getting close to the 26 hours time played now in our Final Fantasy IX playthrough. So we're making pretty good progress, it's got to be said. And we need to be making our way down to the entrance of this place. This will trigger a scene coming into this part. Baku's not normally nice to people, is he? I think that's a first. Ah, there we go. His true character comes out. So Steiner and Baku meet once again. It's been a while since they've shared blows with one another. And now we actually switch to Zidane, so we're getting the full range of character development here in Alexandria, aren't we? Right, so we are once again in control of Zidane and Vivi here. So we're going to head back out, and the first thing we're going to do is watch some of these ATEs. Not that there's anything major at the moment, I would say. But we're going to head back to the mini theatre just to get some gear. We're going to do a little bit of item hunting at this point while we've got the opportunity. And just to confirm now that the Hippo mini racing game is completely off limits for the remainder of Final Fantasy IX. So if you missed out on collecting those cards and the key item, then sadly you will no longer be able to go and get at least the key item anyway. There's no doubt of the ways to get the cards, but just bear that in mind. So we'll grab that guild, 2,680 of it to be precise. And now we're just going to recruit a couple more members into the current party. And that should be around here somewhere. Just check it's not around here. Seems to be stuck. Okay, so I did go to the wrong dock. I went to the Scally dock when actually you just need to head north to the castle. And that will trigger this scene here. With Freya, who also we haven't actually seen for a while, have we? And Amaranth, of course. Right, so when we're ready, we need to take the gondola thing here, the boat. And we can just interact with the field icon to do that. But I do just want to spend a few minutes at the item, weapon and synthesis shops in order to stock up. And I'll give you some good tips and hints on what it is you want to be looking for at this stage of the game. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm in the weapon shop here. And a couple of things that you might want to stock up on are things such as the ice lance for Freya. You won't have one of those before this point. And also there is the plate mail as well. So you might want to get a couple of those. And the twisted headband, or the twist headband, you can stock up on also. And get anything else that you think that you might need as well. And then here next door at the synthesis shop, there's a few things that you're going to want to make, such as the Angel Bless here. You can get the Mithril Dagger, of course, at the other place that we were just at, the weapon shop. So we'll go and craft that for Zidane there. One thing I don't recommend that you make, even though you probably can, is the Pearl Rouge. That's Rouge, not Rogue. We are talking about jewellery, not classes here. So the Pearl Rouge is Well, it looks like lipstick, doesn't it? I don't know. I don't do makeup or anything like that, of course. You don't want to use your moonstone. It's a very rare material, and you can buy these pearl rouges later on anyway, so don't bother wasting your moonstone on that. Let's go ahead and get a black belt. We can just go ahead and get more twisted headbands if need be anyway. So we'll get one and see how that is. And you want to get the anklet as well. You can also use the anklet, by the way, to stock up nicely on reflect rings. So lots of good stuff that you can synthesise. You're going to want to spend a few minutes, I'd imagine, doing that and getting all the pieces that you want. And you should have plenty of peridots as well by this point. Right, and finally here in the weapon shop, there is a game we can play where we can increase our gil. But it's a 50-50 game, and all you have to do is double or nothing. There's no other rewards, and it's completely optional. And I think it's one in the centre, but I was wrong. So there you go, so that's all there is to it, and you can keep doubling your money for a certain amount of time anyway. So it's not the most effective way to gain gil, but by all means go ahead and try it. Anyway, you can actually leave Alexandria if you want to, now that you're in free control of Sedan, but there's nothing to do really outside unless you want to go and do some grinding on the plains. But I'm going to leave the episode here, and we'll pick up next time, and we're going to leave the get the boat to the castle rather, which we saw a minute ago. So please do come back and join me for that as we carry on with the story and see where we go from there. So cheers for joining me, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you soon for more Final Fantasy IX.